Here we go. Okay. All right, so this was Carolyn's. I don't know why that other one isn't working. Good morning, everybody. Can we give some love to our sound and AV team who are literally scrambling right now, checking wires and everything else. Good morning, good morning. It is wonderful to be back with all of you. I missed you all. It worked. I was supposed to take some time for spiritual renewal, and instead I had a lot of intensive dental work done. So I was laid out, whimpering in pain until we finally figured out the pain meds. So Cindy, thank you so much for the divine and perfect order that you were set up. And I heard you knocked it out of the park, as you always do. Thank you. I was able to just be in bed and take care of myself and not have to think about what was happening here because I knew everybody was in good hands. So welcome. If you're with us online, if you're here in person, it is my joy to welcome you to Unity in Marin. We are a inclusive, welcoming community that really is anchored in knowing and seeing the divinity that we each are, knowing our innate worthiness, our innate wholeness. And it's not something we have to prove, it's not something that we have to go out and get, that it is actually who we already are. And the beauty of this community is that we get to come together and acknowledge that and see that in each other all the time. So in those moments like I had when I wasn't feeling so whole with what was going on with my body temple, I reached out to the prayer chaplains and I felt the prayer field get activated around me. I felt them knowing the truth of who I am. And that's what we get to do for each other. So that's who we are. That's what we believe, that love is truly all that there is, and that we get to show up as it. So we're going to start off. Oh, and I'm Deanne Morency, by the way. Who is that woman? And it is my joy to be the senior minister here. We have for our musical inspiration this Sunday the fabulous Unity in Marin Choir, led by the fabulous Dr. Cynthia Acker, with Jason as the fabulous accompanist. So I'm going to hand this over to Carolyn. Okay, this is a sing-along. The choir is singing your part. How about if we stand up? Get some energy going. I hear the music. I hear the music. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I hear the music. I hear the music. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I hear the music. I hear the music. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. That's it. I got a new day. I got a new day. I got a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. Well, I got a new day. I got a new day. Down in my soul. I got a new day. I got a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Now you feel the silence. I love the silence. I love the silence. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I love the silence. I love the silence. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I love the silence. I love the silence. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Well, I feel the power. I feel the power. Down in my soul. started text. I send out texts, and I just realized I didn't send one out this week. Sorry. I'm wearing a lavalier, so I think it's going to work, but it's not working. So if you'd like to get texts, and I just realized that I didn't send out a text this week, so apologies. That just reminds you when service is happening, lets you stay up to date on what's going on. You can text WELCOME to 415-991-7111. And if you're here and you're part of the community already, and you want to just let me know you're here, you can text Loop. I do check those and respond, so it's an easy way to stay in touch with me and connect with me, and I'm fairly responsive with them too, because when are we ever not with our cell phones? This is the technology day today. So we have new office angels that we're inviting people to come if you'd like to serve and help out in the office. So you can drop by the office on Wednesdays between 1 and 3, but please let Dory know that you're coming. Do you need to let Dory know you're coming? Yes. We need to let Dory know that you're coming so that we make sure that we're here and that we've got work and things for you to take care of. And we just want to thank Martha Watts, wherever Martha is. Is Martha here today? But we just want to thank Martha for coming in this week and for helping out. And we had some people who were here last week who were helping out. It's really valuable. The restrooms are open, the restrooms are open, the restrooms are open. So the restrooms along by the coffee that are multiple stalls are now available for people to use on Sundays, right? Woohoo, aren't we happy? We also have a bulletin board. Have you guys seen the bulletin board? It's beautiful, isn't it? I know it took a while for it to arrive, but it's beautiful. So there's forms there. You can fill it out online. You can take a look at, there's already some announcements up there. This is a place where, as the community, you can connect with each other through the bulletin board. And our flower sponsor. So the prayer chaplains that are here, could you please stand up? The prayer chaplains that are here today. And can we just give them some love, please? You guys can sit down now. The holidays are always really hard in terms of pastoral care, like really hard. There's a lot of things that come up for the community during that time. And I just want to say that the prayer chaplains have been amazing. They have been showing up for people in the hospital. They have been handling and answering the pastoral care calls that if I was trying to handle all by myself, I wouldn't be able to get anything else done sometimes. So they have been a backbone for me particularly. So I wanted to make sure to honor them. They really have been going above and beyond. And so these flowers were arranged by Dorcas Higginbottom, as well as Carolyn Gauthier. And it's just in loving gratitude for all the ways that the Unity and Marin Prayer Chaplains support this community through prayer, through their pastoral care, and through their consciousness. It is Happy Lunar New Year today. Yes, the year of the rabbits. Do we have any rabbits in the room? We got a couple rabbits. My wife is a rabbit. This weekend, we had about 45 to 50 people working on the vision, mission, and core values here on Friday night and on Saturday. And one of the things that came up was this very deep conversation around inclusivity. And what does it mean to truly be inclusive? And the difference between being an accepting community and being an inclusive community. And there's a distinction for that, particularly for those of us who have experienced otherness in the world, that if somebody says, I accept you, the implication is, we know there's something about you that's kind of messed up, but we accept you anyway. That's what it feels like. And so we have grown and moved in consciousness from, do you remember back in the day when it was, let's be tolerant? I'm gonna tolerate you. I mean, really think about that. And that was a leading edge of consciousness when I was a kid. That was a big deal that we were going to be tolerant. And that has grown to, we're an accepting place. And we are now on the next edge of consciousness, which is truly about inclusivity, inclusion, including, so that there's no otherness, right? There's no otherness. And the reason why this is so important today is because every Sunday morning, sadly, one of the things I have to do is check my news feed as soon as I wake up in the morning. Because I need to know what might have happened between the time I went to bed and the time that I woke up, so that I can be present with all of you with what's actually happening in the world. And what happened in the world last night, so for those who don't know, there was a shooting at a Lunar New Year celebration down in the LA area. There's not a lot of details, but there are 10 people dead and more than 10 people injured at the moment. This is why we do what we do. This is why we're here, because that is happening. And the New York Times had an article this morning that was just kind of terrifying, where they listed all of the mass shootings. And there's too many to even be able to hold. And so our teachings are here to truly be a space where we can transform this planet. I really believe that unity principles make a difference because they change me. And as I'm changed, I change you. And as you change me. Like we were doing this weekend. It was a really deep, amazing conversation that allowed the whole community to come to a different understanding around inclusion. So I'm going to invite Shay up here right now because he's a rabbit.
You know what's funny, actually, is that this is the year of the water rabbit. And my word is flow! And not only that, but actually I was born in the year of the wood rabbit. So could you imagine that the fact that I'm a wood rabbit and water's what wood needs. So there's actually, up here, if you want to know what your element is, yes. There's the 12 Chinese animals, and each of them have an element that goes with it. And so if you look up there, there's fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. Because the indigenous ancient Chinese believed the fact that that's what the world was made up of. And so there you have it. Now, it's amazing the fact that, we do say like Happy Lunar New Year, right? I'm ethnically Chinese, so I'm gonna say Happy Chinese New Year. And what's interesting is the fact that during this Lunar New Year time, 1.5 billion people celebrate it. And just like in the United States, we have like busy Thanksgivings and Christmases where people are traveling. Chinese New Year in China has 400 million people going home and spending quality time with their loved ones. So yesterday when we were talking about a vision for the world and a global community, there's 1 out of 5 people out there are celebrating this time. So thank you so much. So I invite, can we say Happy Lunar New Year to our global community? 1, 2, 3. Happy Lunar New Year.
Thank you so much, Shay. So I'm going to invite the choir to come up. I'm going to invite Cindy Urbano to come on up and for the inspirational reading. And I'm going to invite us to hold all of those people in LA, anybody who's being impacted by what's happening, regardless of whether they're physically were there or not. It's hard to even just read about it, right? It impacts us all in some way. When we get to the part where we actually do the prayer, I will invite the prayer chaplains to rise, but for now you can just sit back and be present. Cindy, can you guide us in the inspirational reading?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. The divine in me. Let's see. The divine in me bows to the divine in you. Good morning, Unity. This is the time for our morning reading that inspire us, taking all these words into a path of reflection, meditation, or prayer. Let's all together close our eyes, take conscious of your body, your breathing, and let's have a deep breath. I invite you to let these words become your words. The affirmation for today is, I joyfully say yes to all that is mine to do. And I would like to share with you the affirmation in Spanish. Con alegría, digo que sí a todo lo que es mío para hacer. My search for meaning cannot be found in the whirlwind of daily happenings and routines. Confronted with so many demands on my time and energy, it is easy to lose sight of what is truly mine to do. In these moments, I consciously choose to look within and discern what is mine to do from a place of stillness. I quiet my heart, open my mind, and become receptive as I shift from outer to inner reflection, from the physical to consciousness, from ego to spirit. I awaken to my true nature. I awaken to the presence of God that is in me. From this deep consciousness and from this spaciousness, I can discern my next steps with ease and grace. I can lovingly release the shoots and the others. I can clearly sense what is mine and what is not mine to do. I can joyfully say yes to all that is mine to do. And now, let's reflect on silence. Once again, the affirmation for today is, I joyfully say yes to all that is mine to do. Please note this with me. I joyfully say yes to all that is mine to do. And now I will say it in Spanish. Con alegría digo que sí a todo lo que es mío para hacer. And now, you're gonna repeat after me, please. Con alegría, digo que sí a todo lo que es mío para hacer. You got it. Good.
So I'm going to mess up everybody's view about Jesus and Christmas. We decided, or I decided for the choir, that we were going to sing 2 songs that had to do with after the baby was born, since the last time we sang it had to do with the baby being born. And we decided that we'd hold on to them, even though we're not going to be talking about that this month. But I want to tell you that the song that we're going to sing and the last song that we're going to sing about Jesus are considered African American spirituals, and they are not African American spirituals. So I just want to blow that. And the way that you can know it is because when enslaved people were in Africa, they had their own sense of spirituality and religion. There was no nativity in that. And so that's not where they came from. That is what happened after they came to America and were indoctrinated with other belief systems. But what they did know was that they got the day off. And they never got the day off. And so the songs that came from that were really, oh, there's this story that is going on, and it gives us the day off and we get free, and let's sing that up. And so this first song, Jesus, oh Jesus, what a wonderful child, some people call, oh Jesus, what? And that's our song.
Jesus, Jesus, oh, what a wonderful child. Jesus, Jesus, so holy, meek and mild. New life, new hope, new joy it brings. Won't you listen to the angels sing? Glory, glory, glory to the newborn King. Jesus,
Well,
Jesus,
oh,
oh, what a wonderful child.
talking about
Jesus,
Jesus.
Jesus, so holy, meek and mild. New life, new hope, new joy he brings. Won't you listen to the angels sing? Glory, glory, glory to the newborn King.
He was heralded by the angels, yes, born in a lowly manger. Virgin Mary was chosen as his mother, and Joseph was his earthly father. 3 wise men traveled from afar. They were guided by a shining star to see King Jesus, where he lay in a manger filled with hay.
Jesus,
Whoa,
Jesus,
Jesus,
oh, what a wonderful child.
talking about
Jesus,
yes.
Jesus, so holy, meek and mild. New life, new hope, new joy he brings. Won't you listen to the angels sing? Glory, glory, glory to the newborn King.
He was heralded by the angels, yes, born in a lowly manger. The Virgin Mary was his mother, and Joseph was his earthly father. 3 wise men traveling from afar. They were guided by a shining star to see King Jesus, where he lay in a manger filled with hay. Talking about Jesus, whoa,
Jesus,
yes.
oh, what a wonderful child.
Jesus,
Jesus,
oh Jesus,
so holy, meek and mild.
what light he brings.
New hope, new joy
Oh
he
yes,
brings.
listen to the angels sing.
Glory, glory,
Oh glory to the newborn King. Glory,
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 glory
Thank you, everybody. So I'm going to invite the prayer chaplains to rise, and anyone who identifies themselves as someone who holds consciousness to encircle and enfold this community. And I'm going to invite Kathleen O'D to come forward with the prayer box. And that sense of potential, of the freedom, right? That sense that it's there, right there, rising up, uplifting us. That is what unity is all about. This idea that even in the midst of something as hard as what we all woke up to in the news this morning is happening, that there is the possibility for transformation, for change. And we understand that within unity as being the Christ that I am, that you are. So we don't give it away to something all magical. We actually know that we are being invited to become something ourselves. So as we breathe into this space, this place that is love, as we open our hearts and quiet our minds, we just allow all who have been touched by violence in any way, shape, or form to be with us now. Knowing that we are a container of love that is big enough and strong enough and deep enough and wide enough to hold all of it. That there is nothing more powerful than love. There is nothing more powerful than love.
Amen.
And so as we stand in that space, we just bring compassion, we bring peace, we bring empathy, and we just bring our ability to listen to what is ours to do. What is ours to do? Because if we're not doing anything, then there is no transformation happening. It is within us to be the change, to be the space, the place for more love, for more peace, for more inclusion, for more joy, for all the things that make us unique are celebrated, lifted high. So we just bless it all, this thing called life, knowing that we are anchoring the very fabric of it all as love, and that from that space, that place, we feel the possibility of freedom. We feel the potential within ourselves for true peace. And as we know this within ourselves, we know it for the world. How grateful I am for this beautiful community that anchors the yes. And in agreement, we all say, and so it is. Amen. Ashe.
Good morning, Unity and Marin. Hi. My name is Debbie Sweeney Puma. I'm with the Psychic today. Oh, joy. I'm here to talk to you about prayer support. Here at Unity and Marin and Unity Worldwide, we believe in the power of prayer, and we offer a few ways for you to reach out in prayer for prayer requests. If you're here in our sanctuary, we have our prayer chaplains available to you after service today. You can visit us online at unityinmarin.org, or you can call and leave a message at our front office, 415-475-5000, extension 0. We will hold you for 60 days in prayer. There's also another option. We have our spiritual connection cards that everyone received coming into the sanctuary. You tear off the bottom card, You can write your prayer request on the space provided and then drop your card into the baskets at our giving and receiving portion of our service today. So also, the cards, there's also comments in there and questions. It's designed for you to have a conversation or reach out to Deanne, to Reverend Deanne. She is trying so many different ways to make herself available to you. You know, one of them was the phone. Here's a way to write to her. It could be mostly positive comments, but if you have a challenge, you're also welcome to share that too. Sorta, kinda. Okay. But take a look at those connection cards. It's really important that we hear from you. And now we'll have the choir sing. She told me it was blue. I wore blue yesterday. We love you.
Pablo has been a member of the choir for quite some time, and he's taken a little bit of a break, and he said that he was missing choir, and so he's going to help us with a song. I changed the name of it. It's from the Chicago Mass Choir called I Believe in the Power of God. We're going to sing I Believe I'm the Power of God.
Good morning, choir. I have a simple song I'd love to have you sing with me. It's easy. All you gotta do is repeat what I say. I know you can do it. Let's give it a try. Here we go. I know for sure, things are gonna get better. Just wait and see. Things are right.
Gonna get better for me.
I can believe that it's gonna get better.
It's gonna get better for me.
Let's say that one more time.
I know
For sure, things are right. Just wait and see. Things are.
it's gonna get better for me.
What's to come is going to be better than what is. It's going to get
Gonna
better.
get better for me.
Oh yeah. I've got more. I have no doubt. Things are
Gonna
right.
get better.
I've got my faith. Things are right.
Gonna get better for me.
Let's walk into the future. It's gonna get better. Come on, choir, let's sing it again.
It's gonna get better for me.
I have no doubt. Things are right.
Gonna get better.
I've got my faith. Things are.
It's gonna get better for me.
Bye-bye heartaches, bye-bye pain. It's gonna get better.
Gonna get better for me.
No, I say that because I believe it. I want you to believe it. If you do,
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe in the power.
I believe. I'm the power of God.
Say it, I believe.
I believe. I believe. I believe. I'm the power of God.
I believe. Say it again, I believe. Say it again, I believe in the power of God. I believe. Say it, I believe. If you believe, say I believe. Come on, it'll be better. let's claim the power of love. I'm love. Say it, I'm love. I am love. I am love. Well, are you joy? I am joy. Say it, I am joy. Yes, say it, I am joy. I am joy. I am joy. I am free. I am free. Say it, I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free. Say I believe. Say I am love. I am joy. I am free. I believe. One more time.
Oh, that was so much fun. So we had quite a weekend here. Everybody who was here working on the Vision, Mission, Core Values this weekend, can you guys stand up? And if you're home at Zoom, stand up as well. Yeah, look at that. Can we give ourselves a round of applause? Woohoo! And the work's not quite done yet, but we got so much accomplished, and the conversation was so rich, and there was so much sharing and touching each other and listening to stories, and as we are discerning, right, what it is that we understand ourselves to be as our spiritual identity here at Unity in Marin. And so Reverend Cynthia Vermillion-Foster has been working with us for 4 months now. The clicker's right down on the floor behind my... and we are heading into the home stretch here. Can we feel like we're heading into the home stretch? I do. I feel it. And the work has been powerful and transformative. And so I am going to turn this over to Reverend Cynthia, and she is going to share with everybody what happened.
What happened? Just want to take a chance to just connect with you, to just feel your presence and to see the light that you are in the world. Each and every one of you. Okay, I'm getting the hint here. Cynthia, raise your voice. I'll work with Cindy on that, right? I want to start going all the way back. 3.6 billion years ago, there was this massive explosion of creative energy. The infinite seeking to give expression to itself. And so for 3.6 billion years, it's been this incredible creative journey. The creation of planets and stars, the creation of the earth, the life on it. And for 3.6 billion years, this creative energy, this creative potential has been active, bringing us to this now moment. And I want you to just contemplate with me for just a moment the incredible miracle of that journey to here. Contemplate for a moment the miracle of 3.6 billion years of creative energy to create each and every one of you. And here's the incredible thing about it. The journey continues. The creative process is ongoing. The infinite is always seeking to give greater expression to itself. And we get to be part of that creative process. We are co-creators with Spirit, with God, with the infinite. Through our self-awareness, we make choices that give expression to the creative energy of God in our world. Charles Fillmore said, states of mind make events, and new states of mind are constantly being formed. Consequently, every moment is the beginning of a new creation to the individual. Every moment, something new is being formed. Our co-founder understood this. Our science speaks of it. There is this energy of creation that is constantly in motion. And so that's what we've been about through this transition process, is coming together as a community to co-create with one another and to co-create with God, with the infinite, with the creative energy, the creative impulse of the universe. And so we've been on this journey of metamorphosis. I've invited you into transformation. God has invited you into transformation. Because indeed, that creative energy, that creative impulse that shows forth in every moment is always inviting us to something more. And sometimes that process is a little messy. A little giggling there. Sometimes there's a little bit of goo in the process. My visionaries have really dug into the goo. And I call them my visionaries, but they're your community. We had some upheaval in some of our meetings, because what happens in this journey, what happens to the butterfly, happens in each one of us. Through the transformation, we dip down, and we need to let go. In the chrysalis, the caterpillar's body dissolves into this goo, and the imaginal cells become activated. They start to hum. And in that humming, a new creation is formed. So we dug into the goo a little bit with the visioneers and in our experience this past weekend. And if I can take this once more into the theory U that I introduced to you several months ago, that this process brings us down the left-hand side of the curve, the change curve. And in that process, we're invited to open our minds, which, coincidence, Deanne chose to do a book series on Think Again. Open our minds. We've been working on opening our hearts. And when we open our hearts, it's opening our hearts to one another so that we can not only co-create with one another, we can sense the whole that ties us together as one sacred community. And as we drop deeper into that change curve, we open our wills. We open our wills to source. And then we journey up the other side of the change curve. And what we want to do as we journey up, this next step, what we did this weekend, was about beginning to crystallize that creative energy with vision, with intention. But it's not about our individual preferences. It's about continually accessing source, continually sensing from the whole, sharing our ideas freely, but allowing something more to emerge. And so I have the privilege to share the incredible work that was done by the many people that participated over the weekend. Really, we've been grounding all of this in the question: what is Spirit seeking to give birth to in this community? What is Spirit seeking to emerge in the midst of us so that we can fully live into who we are as a spiritual community and give our full potential to the world, to create the healing, the transformation, the space for something new to occur in our world. And that takes open minds, open hearts, open wills, over and over and over again. So we began with groups speaking with one another and sharing an experience with someone in this spiritual community that had touched them, that had opened their hearts, that had supported them in some way. And from those conversations, we called forth qualities that seemed to be expressed in those interactions. And those became our core values. This is what the group sensed in their interactions with one another: inclusivity, authenticity, connection, and divine inspiration. And I want to be sure to acknowledge that we had love on the list, and there was this wonderful conversation where we were winnowing it down. We were trying to get down to 3, and someone said, you know what? It's all love. Each one of these values is part of the expression of love. Love is the foundation on which they rest. Now, this work isn't quite done. We're still in the question of whether we can get it down to 3. And we're fine-tuning that, and there's a team that's going to be working on the core values and seeing if they can bring two together in some way, or maybe rephrase them in a little bit. And then they're going to create definitions for each core value and behaviors that exemplify them. Because you see, your core values are the qualities that you express with one another, with the world, when you are living your best self. So we want to get really clear about what that looks like so that each and every one of you can wrap your arms around it and begin to give full expression in this community. So I want you to just take a moment and take that in. Open your mind, your heart, your will, and just allow these values to rest in your heart. Inclusivity, authenticity, connection, divine inspiration. Just consider the power in living from those values. Amen. So the next step was creating a vision statement. And the vision statement is huge. The vision statement is the answer to the question, what is our highest aspiration for the world? You see, we could just live our lives concerned with just ourselves. But a vision statement invites us to continually be more. It invites us to be part of this co-creative process that is allowing an incredible expression of love and wholeness to permeate our entire planet. So we made this really big. It's totally aspirational. It's not about creating a 12-step plan to get there. It's about having a statement that is continually inviting us to move forward, continually inviting us to give greater expression to our divine essence. And what we came up with for that was a world lovingly transformed through global spiritual awakening and expressing our divine potential. I see some heads nodding. Doesn't that make your fingers and your toes tickle? Doesn't it make you want to be part of it? So once again, I'm going to invite us to just take that in. Open our minds. Open our hearts. Open our wills. And just consider what it would be like for this intention to live inside all of our activities. A world powerfully transformed through global spiritual awakening and expressing our divine potential. And so it is. Lastly, we talked about mission. And the mission is about taking that huge vision and weaning it down a little bit. It's about what this community, how we can realize that vision, what is uniquely ours to do to contribute to that greater vision. And this is what everyone called, well, there was a little goat. I told you there was a little goat. You know, when you get 40, 50 people together, and they all have different ideas, sometimes it's a little messy. But it was a rich opportunity for people to hear varied opinions and various ideas and various ways of looking at who you are as a community. And we didn't quite reach a point where we had a statement that we could all coalesce around. We're almost there. We have 3 possibilities that we're looking at, and neither one of them is perfect. Again, this team is going to be working on fine-tuning it. It's actually another team. It's going to be working on fine-tuning it and bringing it down to one statement. But I want to share with you the 3 statements that were part of the discussion yesterday. We are an inclusive spiritual community who pray, celebrate, and embody unity principles to uplift, inspire, and transform ourselves and the world through love and service. The second one was Unity in Marin is an inclusive community dedicated to positive, practical spirituality, lifelong learning, service, and love in all that we do. And finally, there was some people that really resonated with your former mission statement, but suggested the addition of the word inclusive. So that reads, we are an inclusive spiritual community committed to authenticity and the expression of love and support for each other in living an awakened and enlightened life. There are a couple of words in these statements that I really want to highlight. There was rich discussion, as Deanne mentioned earlier, about inclusivity. How can we be an inclusive community? And I'm not suggesting in any way that you aren't, but again, it's about leaning into more. I mean, what would it be like to be in a community where whoever you were, whatever your uniqueness, you could feel fully welcomed, fully supported, fully acknowledged for the expression of God that you are. That would be pretty powerful. And, you know, as human beings, we tend to have little biases and little judgments. So how can we open ourselves up to really ensure that whatever your uniqueness, we embrace it. We love you because that's who we are. The other word that came up in rich discussion was service. And actually, I should mention that both of these words, when I did the assessment several months ago, were also part of the discussion. And the discussion about service was kind of, well, we really don't do much service, external service. And there was an acknowledgement of that and kind of a little bit of back and forth, because there's a polarity here that I want to surface between service internally, an inward movement that supports the people that are already here. And there's an external form of service that goes out in the world and takes who we are into the world, because who we are makes a difference. And it doesn't matter if they ever show up here. Because who we are as individuals and as a community is meant to be shared. We are part of a global vision of making a difference So part of our work going forward as we step into the planning stages that are coming next is to find the balance, to find the both and. Yes, nurturing the people that are here and nurturing the world. How do we do both? And how do we support the transformation in this world that we want to be a part of? So I'm going to invite you once more to close your eyes. Open your mind. Open your heart. Open your will. And just allow these mission statements to rest on your heart. We are an inclusive spiritual community who pray, celebrate, and embody unity principles to uplift, inspire, and transform ourselves and our world through love and service. Unity in Marin is an inclusive community dedicated to positive, practical spirituality, lifelong learning, service, and love in all that we do. We are an inclusive spiritual community committed to authenticity and the expression of love and support for each other in living an awakened and enlightened life. Just rest with those for a moment. And so it is. I'm just feeling really full right now with the potential, the power, the love, the light that is you. So we want everybody's input. And so if we could pass out the input forms, you're gonna be asked in these forms to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, the vision statement and each of the potential mission statements. And if it's not a 10, to let us know what it would take, if it's not an 8, what it would take to make it better, okay? And we're going to collect all that. The team is going to take it and work with it and create a statement, 2 statements, a vision statement and a mission statement that really resonates with this community as a whole. We want them today, so if you can do it now, yeah, and that would be great. I don't think it'll take a lot of time. If you feel like you need time to reflect on it, just make sure you get it back, because we really do need these. And so the journey continues. As we move forward, once we finalize the mission statement, I'm going to be working with you to discern, what does it look like when we are living from our mission? You see, our mission becomes the anchor or the compass or the North Star for this community that allows the leadership to look at every decision in light of what Spirit wants to give birth to in this community. The mission statement aligns you as individuals along a common intention that the universe has set forward for you. Okay? And what I want you to live into, what I invite you to take with you, is that the journey of creation is ongoing. I invite you to continually ask yourselves, what is emerging? What is seeking to be birthed in this community? What is seeking to be birthed in my life? Because all of us have the power and the potential to make a difference in the world. It has been a joy to work with you, each and every one of you. I look forward to our ongoing journey, and namaste.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. So I'm going to invite the choir to come on up. And so after service, there still will be time to fill those out after service, and we'll make sure that there's a basket for you to put them in, all right?
While shepherds kept their watching over the silent flocks by night, behold, throughout the heavens there came unholy, holy light. Now go, tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born.
The shepherds feared and trembled when low above the earth there shone that joyful chorus that hailed the heavenly birth. Why don't you go?
Go
Tell it on the mountain,
over the hills and everywhere.
why don't you go? Tell it on the mountain.
Jesus,
I said,
Jesus,
oh, Jesus Christ is born. We gotta go.
I gotta go, you gotta go, we gotta go.
tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go
Tell it on the mountain.
Jesus,
I said,
Jesus,
oh, Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it, go tell it,
There's the word,
go tell it,
go tell it,
there's the word.
go tell it, go tell it. The world that Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it, go tell it.
You gotta go.
Go tell it, go tell it, tell the world that Jesus come. Tell the world that God was born. Tell the world that Jesus come. Go tell it.
Okay, this is our time of giving and receiving, and our ushers in a few minutes will be coming forward with the baskets. And at this time, I'm going to invite Reverend Deanne to speak about the grant. See, I was right again.
Okay, I have some wonderful news. Are you guys ready for some wonderful news? So, God, what was it? Like 4, 5, it was a long time ago. It's a long time ago. We had word that there was grant money, federal grant money, state grant money, federal grant money that Hamilton Montessori School would potentially be eligible for. And so with the tireless work of Dr. Cindy Acker, Lynn Forsey, the board, so many people, we put together this grant literally at midnight, we had to get it in by midnight, and it was like 11:59, and Cindy's pressing send. And the texts that were flying back and forth that entire evening, it was kind of hilarious. We were joking, the lesbians were finishing the grant, because that's who was doing the work. It was all the lesbians on the text there, and Tim kept throwing himself in there every once in a while. He's an honorary lesbian. So we didn't think that we actually got the grant, right? And we were trying to figure it out, like, why wouldn't we get the grant? And then we discovered that we did get partial of the grant. So next slide. We got $102,000. And it's the money. What they approved was money for the meditation garden, so that we can do granite walkways and concrete, so that it'll be more ADA accessible. To be able to replace the sump pump, which, guess what? We've got 16 inches of water that need to be pumped out from underneath our building right now from the flooding. So perfect timing for that. And they have agreed to pay for 50% of a replacement of our HVAC system, which is 20 years old and very much on its last legs. So thank you, Dr. Cindy Acker. Yeah. Thank you to the board. Thank you, Linda Anderson-Henry. She pulled all those finances together. That was huge. And the facilities team, where are you guys? Stand up, because the facilities team was getting bids and finding contractors, and they were doing all the legwork. High five to everybody, right? It's very, very exciting. So that's good news, right? Yes. So this is the type of prosperity consciousness that we are standing in at Unity in Marin. And so I'm going to invite Nancy Foster to come on up. We are in the midst of our campaign, our annual pledge drive, and this is how we know how to budget for the next year. But I'm not going to steal Nancy's thunder. I'm going to let her talk about it.
I'd be happy for you to do it, but okay, we are wrapping up, as Deanne said, this week, our Faith in Action program, our annual pledge drive, and we will be having a big reveal next Sunday about how many people have pledged and what is the amount that has been pledged. So if you want to be counted and included in those numbers, and especially if you've been saying, I'm going to pledge, I'll get around to it. Yes, I've told board members that I'm going to do it, but you haven't done it yet? Today is the day. Yeah. And you can go, those little connection cards that you tear off in your bulletin, you could just write on there, what you want to pledge or that you want to talk to somebody. Come out to the board table and we'll help you. Today is the day. So we now have our last testimonial about why I give, and we have Mark Matthews, who will tell you some of his history with Unity in Marin.
So many fun things going on here. I'll tell you, congratulations on that grant. Fabulous. I want you to know this is the first time since March 17th, 2006, that I have stood up here in front of this congregation. Now, you know how I know that? Because of this golf ball. How many of you know what this golf ball is all about? Oh, you don't remember, huh? Well, some of you were here. This golf ball says, Richard Mantai's 19th hole party. We had a party here when Richard Manti retired. It was a golf-oriented party to signify his retirement. He came driving down the center aisle in an electric golf cart. And boy, did we party and celebrate. So we've had 3 ministers since then, and blessed to have Reverend Deanne here. Valerie, stand up. Everybody know Valerie Marshall, my bride. We first came to Unity in Marin at 8 Willow Street and saw Candida Wright, the founding minister, there with her tribe of very strong supporters. Then we drifted off and tried other churches. Valerie was raised as a Christian Scientist. I was raised as a Presbyterian. We were going to find something in the middle. Well, I'm also a fix-it guy, so I spent a lot of time when we lived in Larkspur, going to Jim Corbett's hardware store in Larkspur. Across the street from Jim Corbett's hardware store was the Masonic Lodge. And every Sunday I would see out in front of there, I can tell you I was in the hardware store on Saturday and Sunday fixing things. I saw this wonderful sign out in front that said, Unity in Marin, you're invited and the time of the service. So Valerie and I decided to go back to Unity in Marin. We heard Richard's talk. We liked it. We had lunch with him. And that started our love affair with Unity in Marin. And in 1990, I went on the board. I became treasurer. And as a board, we always struggled to try to plan without having any kind of an understanding of what the monthly income was going to be. So we decided that we needed to create a tithing program, which we did. I introduced it to the congregation. Everybody endorsed it. It was a very strong congregation in terms of wanting to see the church grow. With that, we were able to budget, plan, put programs into place, and sometime in the future, some bright soul came up with the idea of calling it faith in action. I love that term, much better than tithing. But I want to tell you, one of the reasons we're in this congregation, church hall today, church home, is because of the Faith in Action program. When we acquired this, we had the money to acquire the church, but we didn't have the money to fix it up. So we went to Bank of Marin, and we said to them, we want a loan. And they said, well, how can you show us that you're going to have monthly income? And we showed them our Faith in Action program and how much we were bringing in each month. They said, with that, we'll give you the loan. So they gave us the loan that allowed us to go forward. So we're in here today because of the Faith in Action. Valerie and I are great believers in giving money to organizations that touch our heart. Unity touches our heart in a big way and always has. Even when we now live in Sebastopol, so it's about a 45-minute to an hour drive to get here. And so we tried other churches up there, Even when we were going to other churches, we were continuing to give here. Why? This is our home. You are our family. I look out here and I see these beautiful faces. And I've known you for 30 years. I've known you for 25 years. Richard Manti, Jack Hansen, many of you know Jack Hansen, Sam Cardinale, all met here in the church. Annually, we go off and play golf together. We share unity stories. We spend a week together, share unity stories. I look up here and I see Al Copen in the balcony. For 2 years, we met in his home. Richard would drive down from Reno. 6 or 7 of us met in Al's home. We would share unity stories. We would share. This is family. So we take care of family. My daughter is here from Taiwan because of Lunar New Year this week. She teaches school in Taiwan. We didn't abandon her when she went to Taiwan. She's family. Unity in Marin is family. So Valerie and I have continued to give since 1989 or 1990 when we created the first Faith in Action program. And this year, we have made the decision to double our offering from what it was in the past. So there you have it. That's our story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you so much. And as the ushers come forward, I'll give you few ways to give. You can use our QR code, unityinmarin.org/donate. You can text to 84321. You can use our giving envelope, which is in your bulletin, credit card in the courtyard when you see a board member, or you can call to extension 102, or you can mail 600 Palm Drive.
And let's sing together, Grateful by Daniel Namad. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Let's sing that one more time. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be, it's a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na. Grateful for it all. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na. Grateful for it all. So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude pours out to everything near and far. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. If you are here for the first time, welcome. We have a hospitality outside. Please join us after service today. And we are continuing on with our Wednesday concert. This one was rescheduled. If you remember the Copper Women, one of the singers, this is her concert, so please join us. And at this time, I'd like to invite Kimberly Call for one brief announcement.
Good morning. Happy Lunar New Year.
And it is what most of the world celebrates. Yesterday was the first new moon of the new year. And this is a fantastic time for us to focus on renewing ourselves and regenerating ourselves and rededicating ourselves. It's a time when we can nourish ourselves so that we can spring forth with new vigor in the spring. There is a beautiful poem by the beloved Sufi mystic poet Hafiz from the 1300s. You may know it. It's called Old Sweet Beggar. This path to God made me such an old sweet beggar. I was starving until one night my love tricked God herself to fall into my bowl. Now Hafiz is infinitely rich, but all I ever want to do is keep emptying out my emerald-filled pockets upon this tear-stained world. Many treasures of the world's wisdom traditions passed down by masters over the millennia, East and West, are these gems. And I want to share some of the most powerful and potent gems for our renewal and our vitality and our vigor. You are invited to come next Sunday from 12 to 1:30 for a fun, interactive play shop where I will introduce you and together we'll encounter 8 proven practices. And these are proven now by leading edge science. So I'd like you to take home these inspirations and actions you can incorporate to increase daily your bliss, your joy, your upliftment, your vitality, sustained energy, and vigor. Vigor comes from the Old English, French, and Latin root, which means the strength of our energy. It means our liveliness and to awaken. And so from this, we get the word invigorating, to invest with vigor. So, would you like to invest your life with more vigor? And if so, then please come for our play shop. And in community, we will experience together practicing what has been handed down over the ages to do just this, cultivate our vitality. So please come, play with the emeralds, and thank you. We'll see you then.
Book study.
So we're going to launch the book study next week. I will have the study guide ready by Monday, so it'll go out to everybody and it'll be available for everyone to pick up next week. If you're looking for the foundations of what we know, of what we believe in unity, this is the book that will lay out our foundational principles. And then Ellen Davenport is not God. Right? So she lays out the foundational principles, and then we're going to get to wrestle with what she's written down and what we believe to be true and what is alive for us here at Unity in Marin around how we live into these 5 principles. Is everyone with me on that? So if there's parts of that book that you're like, what? Awesome. Bring it to the book study, right? Bring it to the conversation. Bring it to the discussion, because this book is a way for us to have a dialogue. It's not about saying you need to, I will never tell you to swallow anything, hook, line, and sinker, right? That we want to wrestle with it. So that's what's going to be happening with this book. You can get the book in the bookstore. Christine Morgan is like, please remember to tell them. So you can buy the book in the bookstore right here on the courtyard after service.
And our February concert is by Bodhi Sketchko. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So that's in February. And we are continuing our work with Reverend Cynthia. So this is going to be our final workshop in February. So you can sign up for both days, and you can do this online. All events are done, so you can sign up online, or you can see Dory in the office for assistance. Will all the prayer chaplains please rise? The prayer chaplains that you see here today are available to you after service. Please avail yourself to them, and you may share whatever is on your heart You will be held in confidence. And our youth that's coming in right now, they're walking, they're walking, they're running. They're walking, they're walking, they're running.
They're coming, and they're obviously we're celebrating the Lunar New Year.
Nice.
Here we come. I love it.
They are a Chinese dragon.
They are a fabulous Chinese dragon.
That's awesome.
Come on up here, everyone.
Can they see?
This is fabulous, so people they can't really see. Can you turn around so people can see the front of the fierce lunar dragon?
So
there we go. Oh, that's awesome. So we have a blessing that we say for the children of the world, for the children that we are, for those that are here amongst us. I'm going to invite us all to extend our hearts, open our hands as we say and know this together. You are the perfect expression of divine light. We love you just the way you are. And so it is.
And let's
Amen.
say our prayer protection. Our prayer protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. No. Oh, we are going to sing True Colors. Hold hands if you'd like.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you make you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Smile then, don't be unhappy, can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, you call me up because you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show our true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
It all worked out.